So how's it going, guys? I'm here with your Walking Dead Season 8 Episode 5 review. So things slowed down a bit in this episode, so the crybabies who hate action could take a back seat this week. We learned a little bit about Negan. The story finally went back to Negan and Gabriel in the little trailer. So we finally got to see a follow up on that. And I got to tell you something. I like that The Walking Dead does this. Sometimes it's a bit frustrating, but ever since they prolonged story progression, since they did the whole Glenn fake out death in season 6, I've always kind of been a fan of this style of storytelling. And once again, this is another time where I like the depriving of a character, especially when it's a character like Negan, because I was really ready to see him. After a 3 episode absence, I was ready to see Negan again. And, I really liked that they provided some backstory. We learned that Negan's wife was sick, he had cheated on her. He also talked about helping people in a previous life. I don't know if they're ever going to, in his previous life prior to the apocalypse. And it's kind of thinking like, what was he exactly? Was he a teacher? Was he a social worker? He talked about guiding young people and also adults too. He compared that to what he does now with the sanctuary. So, I don't know if it was just adults or just children. It was kind of hard to tell based on what he was saying exactly. Was it just kids that he was helping out in his previous job? I'd like to learn more about that. I don't know if they're ever going to. Maybe exposing Negan a little bit too much is not good, and maybe because Negan has this very rough exterior, maybe revealing too much, but a little bit of a teaser there. I appreciated that, and I like that they started building on the character. So people who complained about, Walking Dead's not going to have any character development anymore, those people look kind of foolish now because there was plenty of it. And Gabriel told Negan about how he had locked everybody out of his church when he first started experiencing the walkers. We also got to see Rick and DARYL getting into a brawl, which brief one for a short time because now they're disagreeing, similar to Jesus and Morgan, or you know Jesus and Maggie over the whole philosophy of how to deal with the raid on the sanctuary. So seeing two of the main characters now going at it, that was a bit exciting, and that was fresh to see. Um, we didn't really get to see too much. Well, we didn't get to see anything of, as far as the kingdom or Ezekiel. But once again, like I said, I kind of like this style of storytelling, not jumping around so much. I mean, this is pretty commonplace. I mean, that's nothing really new. Um, but now, it kind of makes you more excited to see Ezekiel for the next episode or whenever it is that they go back to showing his part of the story. So this was a pretty good episode once again. I mean, so far all these episodes have been good. I appreciated the dial up of the action. A lot of people didn't seem to appreciate it. I guess they don't like when there's more action than dialogue most of the time, but there was quite a bit of dialogue, which was intertwined with the action. I don't know. The fan base, like I said, is the worst enemy of this show. But I'm very curious to see what people's reaction to this week's episode is, because this kind of goes back to The Walking Dead that we know, a bit of a slower pace, where story is being driven through the dialogue. So we get to see that once again. But it was kind of interesting to see how people kind of lost their minds the minute Walking Dead decided. Like, we had never seen this before. Like we had never seen the opening. Like, I remember the first, I believe it was maybe the first episode of season 6, where we got to see high octane action right off the bat. It might have been the mid-season premiere. I forget which one it was exactly, but we saw action pretty much the whole way through, and we were promised it with billboards and advertisements that read "All Out War." So the fact that people were expecting a slower pace during the season was a bit foolish. I'm not excited. I'm not sure why people are so blown away that, oh, why is there so much action? Like that was a bad thing. They were making like it was a negative part of the show when actually it was a positive. It was a nice change of pace, and it wasn't like that they were going to keep on doing that same style as we see in the episode here. They went back to the well of what they've been doing. So, they just kind of took a little bit of a hiatus for that style to try to give you guys something new, try to give you a different experience, a different style of episode. But, I guess a lot of people didn't enjoy it. I did, but many others I'm sure did as well. Anyway, guys, that's my review for this week. I will see you for episode 6.